Thank you, gentlemen and dimes. Coming.
It's official. My book, Life of the Party, is now available for pre-order at BertCast.com, as well as a limited edition Murdered Out Machine shirts. Today's guests, Matt Fulchiron, Brandon Wardell. Go to BertCast.com. Get a book, get a shirt. I love you.
This is the Bertcast.
I think this is pretty good. Here, I'll sit. Let's all sit around together. You sit here. Here, we'll all sit.
Right here?
I don't know where to fucking put this thing.
You put it... Maybe tip your suitcase over or something?
Oh, yeah. Hey, easy. I tried the other day.
You want to do it?
No, I got it. Okay. All right. And we'll just do it like this. Here, get closer. Get closer, young child. Not you. You're good.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. I think the levels are good. Here, talk.
Mic check. 1, 2. Full charge. Don't stop.
Brandon?
Keep going.
Hey, hello. This is...
Okay, good.
Is it recording?
Yeah,
is this
recording.
on the podcast?
Yeah, this is on the podcast.
This is already...
This is live streaming.
I'm gonna
You're
ice
already
my
famous.
foot.
I just entered the room.
Is this your first podcast?
This is I think this is my first, like, maybe more high profile podcast.
one that people listen
I've
to.
done a couple podcasts that...
I'm sure the scene here has podcasts.
Yeah, no, I'm a local podcast powerhouse.
Really?
What do they have around here?
It's all...
You've been on Barack Obama's?
Oh, yeah, I've been on... Yeah.
Barack Obama has a podcast?
Rare,
Yeah,
very,
dude, everyone's got a podcast.
Barack Obama really has a fucking podcast?
He doesn't.
I guess that would be fucking stupid. You just do a State of the Union
Podcast. Every day does a State
Hey
of the
guys,
Union.
it's B.
Yo,
Michelle!
nothing really happened today. Everyone still doesn't have health care. That was a heckle I got last night.
What?
You don't have health care.
Oh, that was true? I saw you tweeted
No,
that.
Yeah. Like
Do you have health care?
Yeah,
I do have
I'm young and I have like parents.
Yeah, so until you're
with healthcare.
25 you get health care.
Right.
So yeah.
No, but I do a joke about car insurance, and someone's like, "You don't have health care. You don't have health
What the
insurance."
fuck?
That's a DC heckle.
Yeah.
That's a DC heckle.
Yeah.
Just class warfare.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get a haircut?
No,
Oh,
I just
okay.
showered right before I got here. I
did shower.
I did. When Matt texted me about the podcast, I was like, I didn't have pants.
You've been
on
up
yet,
since
so-
10.
Yeah, but no, I ate breakfast and then I took a food nap,
Yeah.
and then
Okay. You took your pants back off
right.
after breakfast.
Yeah.
So wait.
All
Okay,
right,
well
you're gonna be a good
let's introduce let's introduce Brandon.
Yeah.
So for those, everyone knows Matt, the full Fulchiron.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
And then Brandon Slidell.
Wardell.
Slide out.
Slidell
That's
sounds
pretty good.
racist, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
Brandon Wardell is a child. He is he has a very boyish look.
fresh out the Huggies
Fresh
and
out-
into the podcast.
Fresh out this is his first. You are the podcast generation.
Yeah. I was born with podcasts.
He doesn't even know what regular
I was-
radio is.
Yeah. No,
You'll never know. You'll never know
yeah.
in your business what it's like to go in and do radio.
Yeah.
Because you'll just do podcasts and you'll end up doing a small rock club tour.
Right.
And you'll get like into a scene and that scene will explode and you'll never know what it's like to be a road comic and wake up and do radio at a place where they do not want you there.
Right.
They have no interest.
Yeah.
You have to win them over, and then when they win them over, they still have a disdain for you and you'll
It's
never
also
know
just
that.
them like half-heartedly doing like setups, right? Like that.
No, you'll never know what it's like to go in and some producer comes in and goes, "I need 5 setups."
Right.
And you can't say to them, "I don't do that."
Right.
You have to go, "All right, ask me about fighting a bear."
Right.
And then ask me about my daughters, and then they do this cheesy. So I understand you fought a bear.
Man, let me tell you, Wild Jack.
Yeah,
This shit went down.
You'll
And
never
you gotta
know.
go into
Yeah.
it, and they're just staring at you like, not good enough, buddy. Not good enough.
Have both of you done
well, it
Comics
sucks.
Unleashed?
Oh, I
Yeah.
have, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that show is, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that's
it's
the-
genius
yeah.
because it's great for the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at one of my Comics Unleashed bits is got like, I want to say 500,000 views because
Yeah.
it is me
on a panel, which is the best way to tell a joke.
Right.
The best way to tell a joke is sit next to David Letterman and say, and casually slide in a story, but Byron Allen didn't do that. He just said, I just need the joke. So it'd be like, Debbie Gutierrez, I understand you had a hysterectomy. And she's like, I did. It's the craziest thing. I'm sweating. I'm running. My husband doesn't want to touch me. Bert, you fought a black guy. Tell me about it. And you're like, one time, Byron. Like,
Right.
so
I gave him like negative setups. Like if I want to tell a joke about how I quit the gym, I'd be like, ask me why I love the gym. He'd be like, so Matt, I heard you love the gym. I'd be like, no way, dude.
That's so fucking smart. He asked me. He was like, "So Bert, I understand you were in a fight." I said, "Yeah, with a black guy," and it went. It was that was
the hot chocolate episode.
That was it was.
You saw the chocolate boiler.
You know what though? I was shitting on it before I got there because it was like that. There were like setups, and they're like, "No one's gonna freeform. No one's freeforming. You need your setups." And I was like, "Bullshit." I was like, you know what? I'll just get on there and I'll do whatever I do. I'll give him these setups, but I'll do what I do. And I walked in and Dennis Miller was in the dressing room next to me.
Wow!
And I was like, holy shit! Dennis Miller's giving him setups. I'm giving him setups.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
Wait, what is he? It's all just libertarian stuff now, though, right?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I haven't seen Dennis Miller's act in a long time.
When I went on, right before I went on,
I don't even know what libertarian means. I just know it means
it's like
pot.
well, here, like libertarians. I think like every like libertarian in their 20s that I know is just
20s.
is just like it's just a Republican that like knows it's not cool to call themselves a Republican. So they just use a cool like a.
Well, what do they
term.
believe?
It's
though?
it's just like.
Do they have health insurance?
I think they're Republicans that are like less. Oh fuck! I'm gonna get. Do libertarians listen to like I know they listen to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Guys, he is putting himself out there. So if you need to smack him on the internet, it's at Brandon Boy. What's your Twitter?
At Brandon Wardell.
At
Wardell. Libertarians.
What do they believe?
Send all your hate.
What do they
believe in God?
To my what's up?
Do libertarians believe in
Yes,
God?
I think they just
God.
believe in like a lack of. They believe in like small government.
Okay.
Like I guess it's like. It's sort of.
If I'm a libertarian, can I have an abortion?
I don't think like Ron Paul is like.
Okay. If I'm a libertarian,
abortion.
I have to get my own health insurance, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're big on like.
Is there any other issues?
They want to like privatize Social Security,
I don't
right?
know.
We haven't thought out all the
Like,
issues. We just know where we stand on
it's,
abortion, everybody. Abortion, marijuana, and gun control. Look, I don't care about the other stuff, quite honestly.
Yeah. Who has somebody has a joke about how they're just Republicans that smoke weed.
I have no idea. I haven't seen other people stand up other than the two of you.
Right.
I haven't seen any other stand up other than Matt in a very long time.
Yeah.
And then I saw yours. I sat through yours. So Brandon, we never introduced Brandon. So Brandon, not really.
Okay.
So Brandon is the most socially awkward person we've ever met.
Come on, man.
Easily,
That's not true.
easily.
But he's still outgoing.
Oh, outgoing as fuck. Outgoing as fuck.
But once he gets there, he doesn't know what to do.
It reminds me so much of me when I was a young comic that you just don't know the right or wrong thing to do. You know what you regularly would do in life, but in comedy circles with a group of people that over-obsess about every fucking detail, it is explosive. Right. It is, and so. But Brandon came in and was like, we were in Richmond, and he was like staring in the mirror, combing his hair, and he was he was just sitting in the green room. I don't even know how you got in the green room.
I think I let him in the green room. Pretty sure.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm a comic," and then something very much. I told you this last night. Remind me very much of a very young Nick Swartzen,
right?
And so I said, you should do a guest set, and you were like, "Really?" And you're like, yeah. And then the fucking hell opened up.
Red tape.
Yep.
We had to get through to get this kid on stage. Was unbelievable.
For a 5
Three
minute,
different managers came in.
Yeah, 5 minute, a 5 minute guest spot on a 10:30 show
with no money exchange.
Yeah,
no,
right.
With the green light from the headliner, he literally had to go out and re-walk into the front door. That was my favorite. How did he walk in?
Hold on, there was a policy on how you get into the building if you're a comic there.
Yeah.
So how did you go in the first time?
I think I just went through the side door.
Okay, and that's unacceptable?
Which is, I assumed that was okay. I had done it earlier.
Wrong.
This is
then
the Richmond Funny Bone.
The big
Yeah.
We don't fuck around.
I wasn't at the proper like security clearance level.
Right.
For the Richmond Funny Bone.
And you were 20 years old at the time, so you were underage, so they had to put
right.
big X's on his hands to go on stage.
Like he was in Minor Threat or some shit.
And so they went on stage. It was very funny, and then but it was
Well,
fun.
another funny thing was, like, I saw you South by Southwest, but I didn't remember exactly what you did or anything.
No.
And then you go, he can vouch for me. He knows I'm funny. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's funny. And
Yeah.
I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, is this kid funny? And then you went up and killed it. And everybody was relieved.
And then he was. We get into the DC Improv green room. I show up. I show up a little late for the show. I show up with like 10 minutes left.
Right. You've never beat an MC to the show.
Never. Never have I gotten there and given my intro to the sound guy before the MC. And I get in. I don't even know who the MC is at the time. And
I'm assuming I'm the MC after about
you said at one
30
point,
minutes.
we can do a two-man show.
Yeah.
Because Allison's like, where the fuck is he?
Right.
Where the fuck is he? And I'm like, who's the MC? And I'm thinking, I
didn't
thought
know
it was Jason
you.
Weems
Yeah.
at first. And I was like, why was Jason be late? And then you walked in and you're like, literally seconds until showtime. Hey,
It was seven.
Eating a
It was
fruit roll-up?
no. It was seven.
Can I get a coffee?
7:55. It was 7:55. So it was like the best time. It was like the worst time of like the best. I think I like made it just before.
before the show started.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You definitely there before. Well, the show couldn't start without you, so you definitely beat that. But it was so
And
funny.
then you missed it when you were on stage. He was trying to go do another show.
Yep, they told me. They're like, yeah, I'll fucking walk back here. Brandon's got his backpack on, and he says, hey, do you mind if I hit an open mic while Bert's on stage?
Melvin
had a
goes,
couple.
now Brandon,
This.
do you really want to do this? You're already in the fucking shit world with Allison. You barely made it, and now you want to leave on top of it? And he was still thinking about
But
it.
yeah, but I heard there was sincerity.
yeah.
It's just around the corner.
It is. It's in this hotel.
Yeah, I know.
That show is
this.
Yeah, it's in the basement of this hotel. I was walking out and I saw this guy with the
Kurt
he-
Shackelford.
No, I don't know who it was. You don't know who I saw.
I'm assuming.
No. I saw a guy
Yeah.
with like this look of I'm ready to get into stand up. I've got my coffee. I'm wearing a ball cap.
Right.
Like, and
I
I
got
was
my
like,
beard. Did you have a beard?
a little bit of a beard
Gotta get a
going.
beard.
And you were like, and I looked at him and I saw that and I went, oh, that guy wants to do open mics. In my head, I just
Right,
thought
right.
that, and I went over to the front desk. I go, what's going on downstairs? He goes, is it downstairs? I go, what's going on downstairs? And they're like, oh, it's an open mic. And I almost went down.
Right.
I almost went down. I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a fucking set before I go over. And I was like, wait, I got to do an hour. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
anymore. But you
That
were
would be
gonna-
funny to take your shirt off at the open mic, though.
Yeah. That's all.
No
It's his new
music.
bit I'm trying to work on. And so then, and then you were like, what? If Matt, this is what Melba said, if I'm not back in time, Matt can close the show.
No, Matt
That's
said
actually what
that.
I
Matt
found.
said.
Oh.
Matt was like, yeah.
I honestly, you told me you were going to do it. It wasn't like you were asking me. You're like, I'm going to go do it.
Oh, I offered for you to come. I was like, you want to do a set right now?
And I was like, if you're gone, I got to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
One of us has to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's-
like, no, I'm staying.
But that's that's the beautiful.
It's never intentional.
It's
No,
the,
I
never,
know.
like,
no,
yeah.
we're really enjoying
right.
this.
Oh,
You
it's
know?
I love because if you can, here's the thing: if you can stay in this business,
Yeah.
and not really piss someone off, you'll become one of our favorite comics.
Sure.
Because that's the people that are those people are the ones that consistently fuck up,
Right.
Because that's who we really are in the heart of this business,
Right.
But you just can't fuck up too much. Like Ian Bagg is the perfect example. He fucks up just enough, but he's still in the game. So every Ian Bagg story you hear is fucking hilarious.
Right.
Of like
He's funny enough to fuck up.
I love Ian Bagg stories, like, because he just is. He is like you. He does what he's going to do, and then he doesn't care. I don't know why about it. It doesn't affect you. I don't understand. He's just one of the funniest fucking people. And I was that way. I think a lot. I just would fuck up, and I didn't know I was fucking up.
Uh-huh.
And then you're like, oh, didn't anyone tell me I was fucking up? In a weird way, I think the clubs like to see you fuck up, and then call and go, well, the person you sent me, I think I don't know.
Right. Guess who loves when he fucks up?
Who?
Melba.
Oh,
loves
yeah.
when he
She's-
fucks
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
It's
She's like, now, Brandon, let's go over what you just did.
what did you say? It was you were like, I feel like I'm in the principal's office.
Yeah,
right
because
now.
you had your backpack on. You look like you're 17, and she's just like telling him how he's fucking up,
Oh.
and how he fucks up anymore.
but it's endearing to her.
It is.
So it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does work out.
There is a breaking point, though.
But there's
You
not.
gotta
But
know that.
I never
Yeah.
fuck up too much. I'm never.
only
it's
way-
always yeah.
Hey, you made it to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
big deal?
the only real way you can fuck up in this business, like that where they don't want you back, I want to say is with drugs and alcohol.
Right.
Is that right?
I think so.
But some people can still get by though if they could sell tickets.
There's one guy. I want to have him on my podcast. That is like the legendary.
I know who you're talking about.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's the legendary, like, fucked up, like really, and
Off the wagon every week.
off the wagon, like falls off the wagon, and has the legendary story of seriously, like. Every club you go to, he's got a story, and I think he's on the wagon now. But I first worked with him with Louis C.K.
Yeah.
And Louis C.K. You comics see that in other comics, and you love it because you're like, we're all fucked up.
Can I guess who it is?
No, you can't.
No. I'll tell you later.
No. Can I get? Yeah. You know what? Go. Let's see who you think it is.
Listen.
Let's see who you can alienate on this podcast.
Yeah, sure.
That's the other thing. Podcasts are fucking soap operas for comics.
No shit.
Oh, if I
Let's
have
bring up
fucking-
some beef from 2004.
I have so much fucking beef. I have so many. I told Ari, I was like, I'm at a new level for people hating me.
Right.
Like, brand new level.
Yeah.
Like, I have people hating me that haven't hated me in 10 years, and they just started back
They're
up.
back.
They're like, you know what? I forgot how much I hated that
You
fucking
shouldn't
guy.
have ate my half a sandwich.
Yeah.
That was mine.
Yeah. So, and we won't get into all the beefs you've gotten into.
Brandon's got
right.
several beefs.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not public information.
Can we talk about it without the name? Because it's
without the name.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So there was a headliner.
And by the way, everyone isn't, because the person who is this person is going to think, oh my God, they're talking shit about me. We're not.
We're not. We just want to leave you out of it.
We want to leave you out of it. We don't want you to, and we like you. We all like you, even Brandon, but this is a good story.
We're also giving Brandon a pass to tell this story. Brandon's not calling you out. You know who you are. Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, okay. Okay, wait. So the chip incident.
Yes,
Yeah.
the chip incident.
The Bonnie situation.
I heard this story. I heard this story after I guess I got food and I didn't eat it all, and someone goes, "Man, Brandon was pissed about that." And I go, "What?"
That was me.
And they were like, "You haven't heard the story of when blank blank came here?" And I
Right.
said, "No." And they're like, "Oh, you got to hear." So
So
go
you're
ahead.
in the green room.
Oh yeah. So he has a
Is
like
this
a
your
thing
first
of
working gig?
I've worked before. This is my first weekend at this club.
Okay.
This is your first.
This is your first
weekend.
day.
First-
Let's face
yeah.
it. It's your first
Right.
day.
Yeah. This is the first day on the job, basically. And he has like a thing of tortilla chips, which is like that's like a food that's like a
That's a party food.
That's like a
It's a party food.
Like a food
Unless
that
you
you-
order it, then
like-
it's to be
Well,
yours.
it's you know what it's like a big ass thing of tortilla chips. And
Okay.
then
That he has though
Yeah.
on his plate.
chips and salsa. I ask can I have
going.
can I have a chip? He's like, yeah, okay, sure. And then I
Right.
have a chip. I dip into the salsa, which I did not think would come up later.
Of course you did.
And then I ate it. And then he was just like, just so you know, like, you shouldn't eat the headliner's chips.
Wow, but he said you could eat them.
Those were like the words that he said. And
Right.
then I thought he was just like
Right.
joking. I thought that was
So
just,
you grab
like,
another
a
chip.
funny- No, I didn't grab another chip. I didn't like,
started
but
eating this burrito.
Melba from the improv comes in, and then she's just like, "Oh, Brandon, did you like want anything?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm
No,
good."
we got chips.
And then he's just like, "Oh no, yeah, he wants something." He wants something.
Oh no, he wants something.
Yeah,
How about we
yeah.
get him some chips and some salsa?
This motherfucker was some chips.
Yeah, no, he wants something. I love it.
Yeah,
Ask for
and then-
food. Then they ask if
Yeah.
you're hungry. You're like, no, I'm good.
He baited you, man.
Yeah, he's like, no, get him he wants some chips, and then I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to. Just wanted a chip. And then she's just like, oh no, I can get you chips. I'm like, I don't want. And then he's like, no, he wants. He had a chip of mine. He dipped. He
Right.
dipped.
Right.
This person with
He didn't
Jerry
even double
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a dipper.
It was Seinfeld. He double dipped. But you didn't double dip, did you? You just
I
think-
didn't double dip. I would
All
never. Yeah, I would never commit such an atrocity. Yeah, I didn't. I feel guilty for nothing
Well.
in this story. I feel
But
guilty
at the
for
same
other
time,
things.
don't you think you learned a lesson in a way? Even though you didn't feel like you did anything wrong.
Right.
Don't you still know? You ain't fucking with that shit no more?
Like, yeah.
Like other people's food?
Right.
OPF?
Never eat the headliner's chips.
Yeah, that's so funny. So what other meals are community property?
Well,
So
wait, are you?
we'll go through
Let's go through
Who's-
foods.
Buffalo
Like,
wings.
Who do you think is
Buffalo
the?
wings.
Oh no, well.
I'll just go through the
How many
improv
buffalo
menu.
wings?
12.
12? Oh, wait. Okay, but chips. Oh, chips. That's okay. Buffalo wings. 12 buffalo. Not. No.
Yes or no?
No.
No?
Okay.
Wait, who do you think is the protagonist in this story?
I don't know what the protagonist means. Like, who started it?
Who are you like?
Who are you rooting for?
Rooting for?
I'm
in this
rooting.
story? Whose
I'm rooting,
team are you on?
Oh, I'm rooting for you
in this-
only because I want to watch you fuck up. Like, I'm rooting for you because it makes it funny.
Right.
Like, without you in this story, there's no story.
And
Right.
we are in the age of the anti-hero.
Right.
So the villain can be the hero in stories nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Breaking Bad.
You're Don
Right.
Draper. You're Don Draper.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
You're the anti-hero. So we're rooting for you.
Right.
But you're wrong.
yeah. I love when you, especially when it's like one of our
Oh,
friends.
he didn't finish one of the. He didn't finish the chips, by the way.
As soon as you had one, he was done.
Like he didn't. No, but he ate more. But
What's
then,
so
like,
interesting too is that you're a little obsessive compulsive.
Right.
So something like someone eating one of your chips, I'd
so
imagine.
it right.
Like I'd imagine that would be something
Not
that
if
would.
it was not.
You don't
tortilla
touch
chips. I
door
wouldn't.
knobs.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so I can't imagine someone.
You touching people's food?
But no, I'm not. No, but I'm not. I grabbed the individual chip.
Yeah.
I didn't. Like I was, like logistically, the way I handled it was like very on point.
Yeah.
You know,
You could
everything was-
have. I'm the kind of person that like if you've got fries, I'll grab one of your fries.
Right.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm that kind of person.
Yeah, right.
I had telling you about the dinner I had with my friends the other night.
Yeah.
Yesterday at the Tabard next door. The mom. So it's my buddy Blair, and his wife Shannon, her sister Wesley, and her boyfriend. Shannon's dad, Shannon's mom, Blair's kids. It's
Okay.
a big group of people.
Right.
And Mrs. Gary is Shannon's mom, and I've known the Garys for as long as I've known Shannon. Their parents were very active in college.
Right.
They'd come up and see games, and so I see them. We go out to lunch yesterday, and Mrs. Gary's just like I have fries, and she's just going to my plate. Something like that doesn't bother me because
Right.
I'm one of those types of people.
Right.
And then at one point, I thought it was funny because Wesley, her daughter, was like, hey, will you pass me some of the kids' fries? And Shannon's mom's like, just have some of Bert's. But that's the kind of person I am.
Right.
I am that kind of person also.
Right,
like if
yeah.
you have something good, and I think it's from being on a film crew for as long as I have.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
as
yeah,
soon as
yeah.
you I go, dude, can I have half your sandwich? And that's the way.
No, it really is a team situation on a shoot, on
Yeah.
a production, because it's like you only have that allotted time for the food. No one has access to outside food.
Yeah.
So you need to fucking get what you can, and everyone's on the same boat. You're right.
Yeah, and I don't mind that at all. But
If you would have stole his chip, he wouldn't have cared.
I wouldn't have said a fucking
Right.
thing.
But
You
this
could
is
say-
the
It
most
wouldn't have
talked about
been-
moment in your
That is-
life.
This is
No
your,
other moment
this
has
is
added
your,
up to so much.
This is your Tracy Morgan story.
Yeah.
One day. One day you'll be on
No.
stage and people are going, he dipped! He dipped!
Tell the chip story.
Tell the Jim story!
Who was it? Who was it?
And guys, you're more than welcome to guess on Twitter and attach Brandon to your guesses.
Yes.
Hashtag
Please.
Chip Story DC. The chip incident.
Oh, dude.
What's your goal?
What's up?
What's your goal?
My goal
Yeah,
in
in stand-up.
In stand up? I mean, I want to do stand up like my whole life, definitely. But I also just like want to have like my own like vehicle and shit. Like I want to like have my own show at some point or something.
It's
Like
so
I really
funny.
want to like I don't know. Like I'm like
It's so funny, at this point in your career, you have no idea what the business has to offer or where it'll end up. Like when I started, I thought I was started in New York, and I thought, I'll just pass at all the clubs, and then I'll be a comic.
Right.
I literally did not know there was the road. I didn't know that existed.
Right.
I had no clue that people left and did the road. I thought you just did it in New York. You got on Letterman. You did like an hour special, maybe. I thought that was the extent of it, and I knew you could get a sitcom, but I wasn't into that. But I remember Dimitri Martin was obsessed with getting a development deal.
Really?
He was. Dimitri is probably Dimitri and this guy David J. Nash. Now David J. is like a showrunner. He's a big writer in Hollywood. But the two of them had more insight into the business than I could wrap my head around. And like those were my kind of two friends. And
Dimitri went to law school, right?
Dropped out of law school. I love his story, by the way. You just dropped out of college, right?
Yeah, I dropped out in September.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
If you know what you want to do, just do it.
Kanye Wardell.
Right.
Yeah, Kanye Wardell. But yeah, Dimitri was like, if you get, I remember him saying two things. He was like, you can do two things. You can get like Judah or Jim Gaffigan and do like a Snickers commercial. Like Judah had a big one where he was like on a lawn chair in the middle of a stadium for the Super Bowl. I want to say. I'm guessing
that was like a rare moment where he didn't have a hat on, right?
That was back in that was before that pre-hat,
right. Pre-hat Judah.
Yeah, well, famous Judah also. He was just a character actor, comic.
Oh, American Splendor.
It was before that. It was before, yeah, of course. But it was before that, and Judah would make like $250,000 for one commercial,
right?
And Jim Gaffigan would make $150,000 for a commercial. And I remember Dimitri's like, you got to get a commercial or a development deal. And the stories of development deals were Greg Giraldo and Bill Burr.
That's all anyone concentrated on in the late 90s was development deal, and they really did used to give them out.
Oh, they did. I got 2 in a row. I got back to back, and it was like, and I just stepped into them. And I was like, shut up,
right?
But I didn't know that you could do that. I did stand up, and then Will Smith people saw me, and then I was like, oh, I got a development deal,
right?
Yeah. And then I moved out to LA, and I was like, I'll just be an actor. We were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about skateboarding.
Please tell me, because I mean, you only barely told me, but you were done with stand-up when you first moved to Hollywood.
I moved out to Hollywood, and I was like, what am I doing sets for? I have fucking a dickload of money.
Yeah.
I have a famous boss who wants me to be a star.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I didn't do stand-up. I did stand-up for like 6 months, and then moved out to LA for 7 months, and then came back and started doing stand-up again for like a little bit, and I did it for like, I want to say like 2 months, and I got offered to go to Scotland with Patrice and Voss and Ben Bailey and Louis Schaefer, and I flew out to LA for one showcase for ICM, and I did stand up again for 7 minutes, and I got another development deal at CBS. Wow. And I was like, wait. So I went out, I did stand up with Patrice and them, and then flew back halfway through and was like, I'm done. And I got a TV show, and I was making more money than my dad. I remember my dad going, buddy, I don't know what to tell you what to do with your money. Yeah. So I was like, what do I need to do stand up for? I'm on TV. I got I have development deals. I got sitcom deals. Everyone wants to work with me. I got an offer to be in Black Hawk Down. They're like, we want you to come in and read. No, I passed. I was like, I'm good. I was like, I got too much shit going on already. I wish I had been in that fucking movie. But and the kid Chicken got the part.
Did he really?
Yeah, Chicken.
He another development deal guy.
Wait, who's the
Chicken is a famous development deal story, and it's pretty heavy.
Yeah,
but he is from Virginia, I think.
Oh, word.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think he is. He got a development deal.
This is like folklore.
Yeah, he got a development deal. I forget what the real folklore part is. He had been doing it that long? Or you know the story.
I know it because me, Frank Caliendo, and Chicken all got development deals at the exact same time.
Okay.
So, Frank Caliendo has a fucking 5 minute tape that was the best 5 minute tape I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm telling you, when you saw this was a holy shit, get this guy off the fucking road and into a fucking development office. This guy is the most amazing impression you've ever seen in your fucking life.
Right.
I saw it and I went, I have so much fucking work to do.
Right.
He gets a development deal with the WB. They go to Montreal. Before Montreal, I get my development deal. And in Montreal, Chicken is this guy. His name's Michael Roof. And from what I understood, and I'm not trying to slander the guy's name, but from what I understood, he didn't have a ton of material, but he was very high energy,
right?
And he had a lot of personality.
He told me one time, I talked to him only one time, and he goes, yeah, it's just the improv. I didn't do any material. I just got them to play Limp Bizkit's "Did It All for Me," and I rapped along with it. That was my set.
Yeah.
And he was psyched, like this is awesome. I could just do this. And I was like, that's crazy. I had just been started, and I was like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I
saw him,
like that.
I saw him one time, and all he did was play the music from Titanic and act it out.
Yeah.
He'd get up on the stool and do this, and it was like, and
people
killer.
liked it.
Oh, Anthony Clark was doubled fucking over.
Yeah.
This is the next fucking great thing.
Right.
And it was a lot of high energy and a lot of all over the place. So imagine that kind of frenetic, like, oh my god, what if you just fuck her on the butt and just, and you're like, whoa.
There's a lot of stool fucking.
Yeah, a lot of stool fucking, and but a lot of really character acting it out. So he goes to Montreal and he gets, I think, a $750,000 development deal, the largest ever, and it is rumored, is the reason development deals stopped happening because he then goes out to L.A. and they create the show Hype for him and Frank Caliendo. It's a late night sketch show that's going to compete with Saturday Night Live on the WB, and it does like 7 episodes, and it just gets canceled. And a lot of those guys get pulled and put on Mad TV, but he kind of flounders, and he doesn't do the road. He kind of gets into some movies. He does Black Hawk Down. He had a reality show on Spike
about him and his family
called Raising the Roofs, because they were from Dunellen, Florida. They were from a really small town in Florida, which we used to play in football, which was really poor.
Right.
But this kid had all this money, and he would still get deals, and he was in he was a good actor. He was in the movie with Tosh, Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
He was in.
I don't think Tosh was in that, but
yeah, he was.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Tosh was in Dukes of Hazzard.
I didn't know.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, Tosh was in. I don't. Yeah, and Michael Roof was in that. He was in the Triple X.
Okay, right.
He was in Triple X. He was a good actor, but the problem is that he just when you're young and you get offered and you get told. I mean, I went into meetings and I remember.
He used to happen to me when I was young too. It was just like, you're going to be huge. You're going to be a star starting tomorrow.
I remember my set at ICM. I got off stage and. It was for ICM, and it was at the Laugh Factory, and I murdered. I'm telling you when I say, there's a few times in my life I can tell you it was the best set of my life. This set was the best set of my life. I walked off stage, and Barry Katz grabbed me and moved me through the passage and into the hallway, and he said, I'm putting you in a car, and I'm getting you out of here. And I went, why? And he goes, because everyone was going to want to work with you, and they're all going to try to talk to you, and I don't want you to talk to anyone until meetings. And I remember writers coming down that hallway in the back, and they were coming back like, Bert, and I was like, and Barry goes, get the fuck out. And I got out, I got in my car, I drove away, and he called me, he's like, your life's about to change forever. First meeting I had, I forget the lady's name, Lisa Berger.
Yeah.
I sat down, she was it was like the best, there is a type of woman in Hollywood, and Lisa Berger, and like all the women that are just, you go into the room, and you feel like you're in their fucking actual room, and you feel so comfortable, and they like make you ingratiated in a matter of seconds. And she sits up, crosses her legs in her chair, and she goes, you're about to get offered more money than you can ever imagine, and I would like to give you one of those opportunities. And I was like, holy shit. But what happens is you buy the dream, and you really think, oh my god, I'm going to be fucking famous.
Right.
This happened for me. The Ashton Kutcher.
You can see it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
It's kind of happening.
Everyone wants to work with you. Everyone's taking you out to drinks. Names you couldn't imagine are calling you up like, hey man, and you're like, what the fuck? And then, when it doesn't happen, it is a heart-wrenching...
It's disappointing.
And then, for me, when it didn't happen was... So, the X show gets canceled, and my CBS pilot does not get picked up in the same week.
Right.
And I have a ton of money, but now I'm in this house going, I don't have any work. What do I do?
Right.
And I just was like, fuck. And then you come back down to earth, and you're like, oh man, I guess I'm not going to be famous.
Right.
None of this is... And you had attached all these fucking hopes to fame, which is so fucked up.
Right,
When I remember Patrice O'Neill told me, he goes, when it all goes away, you'll have no foundation. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'll have money. And he was like, nope, you won't have anything to fall back on. He goes, when I fall, at least I have stand-up. And I remember thinking, I got to get back into stand-up.
Oh my God.
I hadn't done stand-up in like 2 years.
That's one of the things you've told me over the years is like stand-up is always your job. Mm-hmm. You know, and then everything else is just to support or to hype up that job or to
stand-up
feed that
stand-up
job.
is the real thing.
Yeah,
like out of all of it. But the thing is when you get into the business, you don't have any idea what is going to be around. Like, there was no such thing as reality television when I started. That just didn't exist.
Right.
And then, cut to, I'm in pitch meetings where all of a sudden comics could sell shows, and then you can sell your own reality show, and like that just didn't exist.
Right.
So like, my point of all this fucking long-winded talk was that where you think you'll end up, it'll just won't be that won't even be around anymore.
Yeah.
Like technology's changing so much.
Yeah, there is no blueprint.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Yeah. It's going to be exciting for you. And if you stay in it, and I always believe you stay in it and just stay friends with people, that those friends succeed and they hook you up.
That's so important, man.
Dude.
Is to always be cool.
Yeah.
And like always be friendly.
Right.
I'm waiting for Tom Segura to get some fucking big thing because I know he's going to hook me the fuck up. I've hooked up Tom as much as anyone.
Right.
And I'm only reason because I think he's going to make it before me. And I just want it to pay off.
Right.
Him, push, you, somebody fucking make it and then go, I'm a movie star now. I mean, look at all the people, look at like Tosh.
Sure.
Like, look at all the people he kind of, like all his friends work for his show. They have great jobs. They have great job security. They get to hang out with their friend, and they create one of the greatest shows on television.
Right.
You know, look at Hardwick and all the people he's brought along with him.
Absolutely.
It's kind of an interesting, it's kind of an interesting, anyway. Do you skateboard?
No.
We were talking
Do you?
No, Matt.
Did you?
Matt did.
Oh,
yeah.
Hardcore.
All the time. From
Oh,
like
yeah?
1985 to like 2000. I couldn't stay off the fucking thing.
We were talking
And
about
it
last
ended
night.
up like affecting a lot of decisions. It ended up like because first of all, like where I grew up in Southern Maryland, there were in 1985.
Yeah.
This is gonna be very hard for you to imagine.
What year were you born?
92.
But all there is, that's when I
Are
graduated.
you
from high
fucking
school.
serious? I graduated. I was in college in 92.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
So all there is three channels on TV. I didn't have cable. Cable wasn't that big at that time, anyways.
Right.
All you had was like the radio to hear fucking music and shit.
Yeah.
But with skateboarding, they had these magazines like Thrasher magazine, and you could open it up and just see, like, there's tons more shit out there.
Yeah.
There was like all this underground music, especially.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. That just opened my eyes to all kinds of the punk rock mentality. You can just go do it yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, I went to college in Baltimore just because Lansdowne was there, and that's when I ended up like majoring in what do you call it, like film production.
Did you do stand-up
And that's
in
how I ended up in
Baltimore?
LA. No.
Oh, you started in L.A.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't the move.
Right.
But fuck it.
It's a
There's
move. It's the move.
there's pluses to it.
There's a lot
like,
of
you know, you have
pluses.
to be original.
Right.
Yep.
And
You don't start off with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you look at a lot of the comics that are in say like the scenes around the cities, and they have a lot of local references, and they have a lot of like.
Right.
And then they get caught up in a lot of the cattiness that is the local scene,
Yeah.
and they get lost in like what they got into it in the first place, and they start producing shows, and they're like, oh my god,
Right.
like, and then they care about their scene. None of that matters.
Right.
You gotta just go to New York, like or
Yeah,
LA.
yeah.
Because then once you get there, that's when that really matters.
Yeah.
You know? But I started in New York. You started in LA.
Yeah, I did. And,
Who was in your class? Like who were the people?
Trying to think of who's still doing it. Because I started like even before Segura. Like Hardwick was actually just starting to
What
do
year
it
did
when
you
I
start?
did it. Galifianakis was there.
Really?
Yeah. What's that?
What year did you start?
I started in 98.
Okay.
Yeah,
I started
yeah.
in 90. I think I started in 98 too.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think who was like just starting then. You got like Sam Tripoli.
Oh yeah.
He was definitely part of my class. He moved to LA right when I started.
Where was Tripoli from?
Tripoli is from Pennsylvania, I think, but
Really?
or upstate New York. But he started doing comedy in Las Vegas. He went to college out there and started doing comedy
he
out
did.
there.
Of course
and
he
then
did.
just ditched college.
He's-
Him and this guy Scott Ross moved to LA, and Scott Ross was his roommate, and he just became like a porn reviewer.
Really?
He was a comic too, but he just became a guy that reviewed porn. And became like one of the bigger guys that reviewed porn. I don't know if they really have that anymore as a job because everyone skips the fucking regular outlet,
What's
so to speak.
I'm trying to fucking ice this foot.
You got ice to foot.
So wait, Tripoli was one of the first people, by the way.
Yeah.
This can I tell you one of the most
Go ahead.
valuable lessons in this business? Tripoli was the first person that at a showcase ever showed me love. Like
Oh, yeah?
normally you go to a showcase and it would be a lot of people nervous that they're not going to do
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So they're so in their head, no one talks to each other. We did a thing called National Lampoon's Funny Guys or
Right.
Funny Things, and I was there and I did not know anyone. I didn't know anyone, and Frank Caliendo was hosting it, and Tripoli came up and he goes, "Hey man, I just want to introduce myself to you. Me and my buddy, think you have the funniest joke ever. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you have that. I forget what joke it was.
Right.
But he was like, it's one of our. Touching the cops' faces.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And he was like, it's like our favorite joke. We fucking love it.
Yeah.
And are you gonna tell it tonight? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, good. And I was
Awesome.
like, oh, nice. And then I was like, I felt positive.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I just made a friend. I made a friend. How great is that?
Yeah.
And then he went up and destroyed what's still to this day one of my favorite jokes. And I hear the wording when I'm on stage. Sometimes I'll hear him wording it.
Yeah.
When he does. He talks about playing basketball with girls at the YMCA.
Yeah.
So now I know what the brothers feel like. She goes up for a layup and I ring her bell. Girl, stay down, bitch. It's the fucking best. And I had to follow him and he murdered. And I was I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But Tripoli I love Tripoli.
He was one of the first guys that was like, went out of his way to talk to me too. And he was always like funny as soon as he got the chance.
Montreal story you told me about him.
Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
What was it?
Well, Tripoli went to Montreal like really early in his career for New Faces, and he was really unhappy with how well he did. I mean, these are his words. You know, he was really unhappy, and it kind of bummed him out for a long time. And he thought it was like this big dark cloud on his career. And then somewhere around the last 10 years, someone said to him from Montreal, "Hey, why don't you showcase for New Faces?" And that's when he realized, oh, it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Not even the festival knows.
Oh, dude,
Do you know what I mean?
It's
like credit. Like every 4 years or so, the fucking bad shit just kind of goes away.
Yeah. So I did the one showcase that for Will Smith that went well, and then I did the second showcase for CBS, or for ICM that went well.
Yeah.
And then all that shit went away, and I lost the show, I lost the deal, and I had nothing, and I did a showcase, and I was like, here we go. I know how this works.
Right.
Showcase, I get it all back.
Right.
I go and do a showcase, and I bombed.
Right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
bombed so bad, and I was depressed for like
Yeah.
2 days. I was like, I couldn't write the boat, and I remember calling Barry Katz, and I was like, I'm really worked up. We need to do another showcase so those people can see me kill. And he was like, Bonnie, you're highly overestimating how much people think about you.
Yeah,
I go, what?
yeah.
He goes, do you think any of those people are sitting in an office going, we'll never work with Bert Kreischer?
Right.
I go, I don't know, are they? And he goes, what have you been thinking about for the last 2 days? I go, me and this bombing. And he goes, well, they've been thinking about themselves too, and you're not on their radar. And I was like, oh, you're fucking right.
Yeah, because he had told me that Sam Tripoli thing because I was like talking about like bombing at like a Montreal callback in 2012.
Oh, fuck
That I was like really like I was like it like destroyed me.
There's so much bigger shit.
Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, because what was amazing is like
You don't worry about.
I mean, Montreal's
Like-
not what it used to be.
right.
by
No,
any
I know
means.
it's not.
Montreal is not
Right, you don't
what
go
it used
there.
to
The
be.
president
It's
of
actually a lot more
doesn't
fun
give
than
you
I
all
think
the
it
money.
used to
But
be.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I still want to like do New Faces in
Yeah.
2014.
Of course you
but
do.
yeah,
Of course.
but I had auditioned in DC, like killed it, and then like went to the Creek and the Cave in New York for like a callback.
You don't know what that
had
is.
An awful,
It's like an alternative room
just-
where there's only ever comics in the room.
Yeah.
And they're New York comics, and they're kind of like, they know who their friends are.
Right.
And if you're not one of their friends, dude, I've been
I
there.
did, yeah,
I've been
I did a
there,
showcase
but there was a club called Collective Unconscious that I used to do sets at, and you were either friends with them or
Yeah.
you were not.
Right.
And if you were not, you did not do well.
Right.
And
Can't
the
sit
only
with
person that was nice to me was Brody Stevens.
Uh-huh.
Brody Stevens was nice as fuck, and he was always
Yeah.
nice, and it's just because that's who he is.
Yeah.
But like, I remember seeing Brody was the only one I remember that's still in comedy that was there.
Right.
There are a lot of people that did that room, but
I just did a Jimmy Fallon showcase there in like 2012
At the
the
Creek?
Creek in the Cave, and they were like, and so the Creek in the Cave made the list.
Yeah.
So I went on like fucking last.
Yeah.
So much so that Sean Patton was hosting, and he went up and yelled at the audience. He was
Really?
like, you should be laughing at that shit."
Really?
Like he totally like yelled at him and stuff. It was so funny.
those. I mean, rooms like that are set up so that the people that are having a hard time in the regular rooms can have. I think.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
always been my theory about like some of the rooms that you go to, and I'm not saying that Creek in the Cave.
Creek in the Cave.
Creek in the Cave.
It's a cool place.
I'm sure it is, and I'm
It's
sure
just-
I'd love doing
it's
it. And if I was accepted there, I'd love it. I'd be like, "This club's the best club ever." It's like I never wanted to do Nerdist Meltdown.
Right.
Is that it? Is that the room?
Oh yeah.
Fucking greatest room I've ever
Oh,
been
it's
in.
the best.
It is the best room
Yeah.
I've ever been in. I will fucking always do that room because they're fucking there to see comedy.
Yeah.
It's not like a regular comedy club.
It's the best show I've ever been on in my life.
I was literally riding home in a cab with Tasha's manager back into Hollywood after a 2-month tour, and I had all this money in the bank, and I was just playing all these theaters, and his manager's like, yeah, Matt, you got to play this Meltdown Comics, this comic book shop on Sunset Boulevard, and I was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
But I love it, man. It's so great.
I went there to do like podcasts for a few times, and I didn't know there was a club there. I didn't know that's what that was.
Yeah.
And I look like someone that would not be in the alternative comedy scene. Like, I look like a meathead. I might
put some glasses on. You're there.
And so, so Benson's like, I'm doing the Benson interruption there. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah. And I go there, and it's all the people I like and know.
Yeah.
Like, I like everyone. I know everyone. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. Go up on stage. And I wanted to do the Benson interruption and tell the machine story because I've been telling it in rote so much that I wanted Doug to break it up and stop me and ask questions. But it was killing so hard, he didn't even really stop me.
Wow.
And it was like the greatest fucking moment.
You overrided the interruption?
And yeah, Doug was just listening. And it was Kumail and Doug, and they both were just like, they just were listening. And it was the greatest set. And I was like, oh my God, I want to fucking work out here all the time. Because and I don't even think people were drinking, but like people are there to see comedy.
Yeah. No,
you know?
It's really awesome.
It's all just sober comedy nerds.
And they know they have a reputation for being good, so every week they show up and they are fucking, they're good.
And it's like everyone's smoking. It was the best. It was one of the greatest experiences. And I was like, wow, I've misjudged a lot of rooms. But there are rooms where it is run by comics, and there is like, if there are rooms that are comedy clubs that are like that are run by comics, and that have a douchey vibe, and you're just like, oh, so let me get this straight. You're comfortable on this stage, and you want to make sure that you remain the only person comfortable on this stage.
Yeah.
So everyone else is going to feel awkward while they're here. I'm not saying that Craig and the Creve...
No. It's a cool place, but there's definitely that aspect to it.
Yeah.
You know? It's definitely a group, a clique. In a way.
What was dope, though, is, like, the guy that, like, gave me the callback.
Yeah.
Like, works at Comedy Central now.
Uh-huh.
Like, I had just had, like, a general meeting there in L.A.
Right.
He was, like, the first guy I saw there. So, like, that was, like...
Never underestimate the people you meet on your way up are all the people that are like you're gonna get a meeting with, say, like fucking Les Moonves. That's a bad example. That's a bad example because his assistant's probably been with him for 20 years.
Captain Showbiz.
Yeah, Captain Showbiz. Hollywood. Call you up, and his assistant will be Captain Show Business when you're 40 years old. So always be like, I mean, just be who you are. I don't want to say like be nice, then you're a fake person. Be who you are. Right. But like, all those people that you run into are all the fucking people that run the business when you're an adult.
And you can figure out how to keep it real and be cool to other people at the same time.
Yeah.
Step out of the room if you have to.
Yeah.
That type of thing. You know?
Fucking think of all the people that ran Comedy Central when I was like young, and I was like, why won't they give me a shot? They're all gone.
Right.
All gone.
Right.
Mr. Brand, now it's a group of people that are all younger than me.
Yeah.
That were all assistants to people when I was coming up.
Right. Those jobs are weird because people don't want to keep them, or they get fired whenever the ratings are bad.
Yeah.
Or whatever. No one keeps these jobs for that long.
Right.
No one books the Improv for longer than 2 years.
Oh, dude.
None of this stuff.
I remember paying my dues at the Improv and being like, I'm there, bam, brand new booker.
It's done.
Matt Coman.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Who's this Matt Coman guy? What the fuck do I got to do to get this guy? Oh, shit, I hope he likes me. And then, bam, Jesse. I'm like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
I was just friends with Matt. Who's Jesse?
Yeah. There's so many times where you're just like, you feel like you're starting over, and you've already told a couple stories
Oh, God.
about that today, where it's just like, okay, I'm starting
What
from
happened
scratch.
with the...
Am I even in this business?
The Will Smith...
Just fell apart.
It just fell apart?
Doug Herzog was president of Fox when we sold it, and halfway through the deal, Doug Herzog left to run USA Network, I want to say. And a guy named Sandy Shurin took over Fox, and just was like, this isn't the direction we're going in, and it just kind of, they were like, just never heard from anyone again. It happens all the time.
Didn't you guys write a Carlton spinoff?
Yeah.
Where you were the Wagoneer?
No, but when we were at Fox, we saw the dad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We saw the dad, and he was there, and he was in like a car in front of us, and Will was like, hold on, and he got out, and then the dad and them hung out, and I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You're like, which Viv is going to show up?
Yeah.
Or which mom?
Yeah, but that just fell apart. And then the CBS one, David J. was smart as fuck. That's the other thing. He wrote his pilot. I wrote a pilot for CBS. He wrote a pilot. We both had deals there at the time. David J. wrote a pilot, and his best friend of the pilot was based on me. So they're like, well, which one are we going to make? The one where we can use both of them, or the one where we just use Bert?
Right.
And so they made his, and I got cast in his.
Cool.
It was really smart.
Yeah.
There's a way to navigate this business where you can hedge your bets.
Right.
David J. is a smart fucking dude too. I think he's like
what is he?
He was a comic. He ran an open mic at the Boston Comedy Club on Monday nights. It was a fucking great room because it was packed, and it was packed with college kids.
Yeah.
So like everyone would come down to do sets on that open mic.
It was an open mic in New York that had like audience members.
At the Boston Comedy Club, it was packed. It was a bringer show, so everyone, and he had 10 people on the show. Everyone had to bring 5 people, but everyone brought 10. So it was like 150 people. It was packed out every single fucking Monday, and all the great comics lived in that area. Would go down and work there, and they'd work that club. And there was a show. I want to say there was a show after it on Monday night. So they'd come down and they'd be like, "It's a packed fucking room. Let's just kill this crowd." And it was like they had been fake laughing, so you go up and you get real fucking laughs. And I mean, I'll never forget the guy. I'm gonna let you guess. The guy who helped David J. run that room was like, at one point David J. was like, I'm back and forth from LA, and he was like, gave it to this guy, and he was like, and the guy was pretty funny. He was really
I know
funny.
who it is.
Who?
Neil Brennan.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Ed Helms.
Okay, yeah.
How fucking crazy. And I ran into Ed one time. I was and I hung out with him, and I'd see him every Monday, and he was a very, very funny comic.
Yeah.
And then he got on the Daily Show, and I remember running into him one time. I was in Boston, and he was in Boston, and we saw each other. He was like, "Bert." I was like, "Ed, how you doing?"
Right.
He's like, "Good." And I was like, if I had a nickel for every bit of douchey advice I gave to guys that were so much more famous than me, or going to be, I remember telling Dave Chappelle, "Stick with it."
Right.
First time I ever saw him, it was like my first night in New York, and I saw him, and I was like, "Dude, you are good, and I think you got a shot." And he was like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Stick with it." And he walked away. I was like, I think I just put that kid on the right path.
He had like a decade under his belt.
Oh,
at that point.
decade. He's movies, Men in Tights. He has deal after deal after deal. He had 10 deals in a row. I said to Ed Helms, "Can I give you some advice?"
Right.
He said, "What?" Because now, mind you, I had gone through all my money, and I was like, and I had failed, and I had left stand up, and then I had to start from scratch.
Right.
I go, "Ed, it's all gonna go away." One day, man. I mean, this is all going good, but it's destined to fall out, and you better keep up with stand-up because that's all you have.
Yeah.
He's the biggest movie star in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have given him that advice. Maybe I just should have said hi.
Highest grossing comedy of all time.
I was like, it's the one thing I regret. But I've told that to other people. I told it to another guy who was a big sitcom star for a second, and then it just went away. And I was like, dude, when it was happening, I was like, the mistake I made when I was on TV is I didn't keep doing stand-up. I was like, fuck it, I got TV, it's good money, it's never going to go away, and I just stopped doing stand-up. And then when it all went away, I had to get back into stand-up, and I had to start at ground zero. I had to start at fucking ground zero.
What year is this?
I was probably 29 or 30, 29, and I had to start hosting at the Improv. I had to host.
Sure.
And hosting's like, in New York, hosting's an honor somewhat because you're the guy and you're on all night long and you get to fucking work a ton of new material.
Right.
But like in LA, hosting is like, you shit on them. They're like, ugh, you're hosting? I remember people saying, like, I invited people to come see my show, but I was hosting. Yeah. And I remember someone going, tell us when you're doing like a real show. I was like, oh, God. I remember Leanne was right there, and I was like, I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I hosted for Drew Carey, saw me and liked me. It was like, have him host every Wednesday night. So I would do 15, and then Drew Carey would go up and do stand-up, and then they do improv.
Right.
So I did that, and then,
I did that just recently. When I got back to LA, I was like, I just called up the improv. I'm like, look, you got me as a host if you want it.
Yeah.
As far as like...
they'll take it in a heartbeat, yeah.
Of course, because I'm overqualified at this point. And then the features would show up, and they'd be like, why are you hosting? And my little joke was, why are you featuring?
Yeah. You know what I said? I said to this is around that same time, I started getting back into it real aggressively,
Yeah.
and I said, you know what? You can have me host out at any of the clubs.
My thought was, I'm going to be working for free anyways.
Yeah.
Might as well make a little bit of money and get into the mix.
And you know what they did? They took me and Ian Bag, and they're like, why don't we just pay you guys the same, and you can switch up hosting and featuring.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest. I mean, there were shows that... And then Ian, they would just go, why don't we just have you and Ian Bag, we'll have Tom Segura host, and you guys co-headline.
Right.
And those shows were monsters.
Yeah,
I had a hard time following him. I've always had a hard time following Ian.
He's tough to follow.
Because he's real in the moment.
And the audience, like, it's a different type of show. The audience is now, we're part of the show.
Yeah, and then
So now you got to go up there and be like, you're not part of the show anymore. Yeah.
Guys, remember that last guy you loved? He's not up here anymore.
He's gone. He went back to Canada.
Who's your favorite stand-ups?
My favorite stand-ups, like, of all time, are, like...
That you'd be excited to work with right now?
I got to work with Brody Stevens a couple weeks ago.
There you
like
go.
Brody Stevens a lot.
Yeah.
He did, like, I had, like, a birthday show at this, like, comedy festival.
It was your birthday?
It was like my birthday
Your
show.
21st birthday.
My 21st birthday show, and then he, like, closed it out.
Nice.
So that was, like, awesome. Like, he's like, one of my favorites.
That's good to know.
Yeah, like, Brody Stevens, Andy Kindler, like, was, like, the first guy to, like, give me, like, a guest spot.
Andy Kindler's a really nice guy.
He's
This
amazing.
guy-
Amazing, yeah,
Tell
amazing
the
Kindler story,
man.
actually.
You never
Yeah.
heard this.
I, like, this is, yeah, a couple months ago, like, I was just, like, doing a guest spot when he was, like, at the Arlington Draft House.
What's that
and
club
I was
like?
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's, like, sort
It's
of,
a
it's
movie
like,
theater, right?
yeah, it's, like, big ceilings, like, high ceilings, so
So
like,
it sucks.
it's that aspect is
That's
great,
what I love
but, like,
about the DC Improv is the
yeah,
low
it's
ceilings.
the- right,
old
yeah,
school
exactly.
fucking
I can't even take my
Yeah.
shirt off on stage sometimes. I hit the fucking ceiling
Yeah,
panels.
you hit the ceiling last night. You know, that's weird that, like, most of the funny bones and most of the improvs have these really big ceilings.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, just cavernous.
They don't know
just-
about
yeah.
comedy clubs? They
Yeah.
are the comedy
Right.
clubs.
So
But I just like I smoked him out after the show.
Great story. We got to go to a commercial.
Andy Kindler?
Yeah. And then
That's only the beginning of the story. That's only the beginning of the story.
and then my car was like this thing was like blinking in my car, and he was just like, like, Brandon, like, what is that? And I was just like, I'll just turn off the car and turn it back on and hope that it doesn't show up.
Sure.
Which is not the.
It's never worked before,
Right.
but let's
It's
try
not-
it.
Yeah. And then he was like, no, like, well, yeah,
isn't a
just pull
computer. You
over,
can't just
pull
turn it
over
off.
at this gas station. He's like looking through my car manual, like high in my car, looking through my car manual. And then he, like, figures out that, like, I need coolant, so he, like, buys me a thing of coolant. He pops my, like,
Andy Kindler,
Auto mechanic.
and he, like,
doesn't sound like him at all.
I know, that's why it's a
Yeah.
story.
and then he, like,
Pops
fixed
my
my
hood.
car.
Smacks on it. Open up the back.
Hey!
Right. Yeah, and then
Andy-
he like
Andy
fixes. He paid for my paid for the coolant, then fixed my car.
Dude, that's
And, like,
your new
bought
bio.
my
Andy
Yeah.
Kindler fixed my car.
Oh,
That's
it's
your
so
stand-up
funny.
bio.
I love that it starts out with, I smoked him out.
That's hilarious. The best part is it doesn't need to be told.
Oh yeah,
But it's a
yeah,
great
but
detail.
It's a
Yeah.
funny detail.
It does not need to be told. I'm sure he's like, why are you telling everybody I smoked him out?
But yeah, no, he's one of my favorites. I love.
He's a really
like
nice
he's
guy.
also just like.
That's why he thinks he can take chips from people.
Yeah.
It's like, these motherfuckers want to fix my car. They want to smoke me out. What the fuck, man?
Oh, I smoked him.
Okay.
I smoked. Yeah, but
Who else have you smoked out?
Who have I smoked at in comedy?
names.
Yeah.
Not no. I mean, just like
Brian Regan.
right.
Tell me about that. Earthquake?
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks.
Gallagher too. No, I've just like I don't know, like Kindler and Domian. Like I don't know who else.
All right.
Probably not many else.
No, wait. So your favorites: Brody Stevens, Andy Kindler.
Oh yeah, Galifianakis. Although he doesn't do much stand up anymore, but
don't think he does it
I
at
saw
all.
him. No,
I don't think so.
he was on. No, he when I did Meltdown, like the Wednesday one, he was like he.
There was a nice era in LA
Yeah.
where he was at the Improv every Saturday night. Do you remember
Dude,
that? Bert?
yes, I do. I remember seeing him. I remember seeing him at like what I would say was the height of his
I was hosting a lot back then too, and I got to bring him up and watch him all the time. It was
Dude,
fucking
he
awesome.
was so good. And it was what was great. I remember I brought Leanne. Leanne didn't like it. The show was me, Zach Galifianakis, Tosh, and what's the Sean Rouse.
Okay, yeah.
And Leanne didn't like any of them.
Right.
She didn't like. Tosh went up.
Who's Leanne?
My wife.
Oh, okay.
Tosh went before me.
Yeah.
And I think he did like an impression of my act just to open up. He's like, "Oh, my name is Bert. Sounds stupid. Bert. He's like, "You guys like that?" And like just berated the audience. And Leanne's like, "He's doing your bits." And I go, "But no, he's not stealing them, Leanne. He's making fun of me."
Right.
She goes, "Why would he do that?" And I go, "Because that's what
war
we do.
up
That's
there.
what we do."
Yeah.
Right.
And she was like, "Ugh, it's going to make it very hard for you." And I was like, "It's going to be fine, Leanne." And then the only joke she laughed at I remember that Tasha's next joke was, "No means no, not in my house. No means work on the titties. Work on the titties. Come back in 2 minutes." Whatever it was.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, it's very misogynistic." And I was like, "Oh God."
Right.
Zach Galifianakis didn't laugh at one of his jokes, except for his last joke he told was, "Well, it's time to do laundry when you get out of the shower and dry off with a shoe." And she fucking fell apart laughing.
She saved it all for that
She
one
goes,
moment.
"I like that one." Sean Rouse was absolutely hilarious. And she didn't like one bit of it.
Right.
And then I went up and she was like, "You're better than all these people."
Yeah.
Everyone is bigger than me. Everyone.
Were you headlining that night?
No. I want to say I probably went
So
last.
Tosh was making fun of you before you got on stage?
Either before or after. I want to say
ridiculous.
I want to say it was before. Every time I've been on stage with him, and worked with him, it's been absolutely hilarious because he somehow incorporates me into the show. Mind you, this is a handful of times.
Sure.
But he incorporates me into the show in some way, and it's absolutely. He's one of my favorite guys to see do stand up. I would pay to go see him. I would like to see a tour. Daniel Tosh, Bill Burr, who else?
You were talking about Louis C.K. is in that fucking.
They did
No,
that.
I just want to see Louis by himself for an
Gotcha.
hour. I want to see
Right.
I don't want to see Louis with anyone else.
Right.
I want to see Bill with
There was-
Daniel and see like a powerhouse tour.
There was that tour a couple years ago with like Norden and Burr.
the antisocial
Mattel.
tour.
Yeah.
I'd see that. I'd pay to see that.
Burr's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Burr's
for
one-
for a couple years now.
Burr's
Yeah.
Burr's one of my favorites. I like the way he does. I like the way. I think he's great.
There's nothing contrived, and every sentence is funny.
Yep.
Because I'm just so on board with the personality at this
Yeah.
point.
Like when he said, "There's a lot we can learn from black people. They can teach us about lotion, and we can teach them how to register firearms." Well, I'm ruining his joke, but that's one of the best things about being a comic. One of my favorite things was right when I started hanging out with comics was that they'd go stuff like, "Oh, that's like Mitch Hedberg's joke." When the guy hands him flyers, he's basically saying, "Will you throw this away for me?
Right.
Throw this away
Here,
for me."
you throw this away.
Yeah, here, yeah. And that was like, Dimitri was good at, he could tell you anyone's joke and be like, "Oh, it's like a Tell's joke." And Dimitri was amazing at that.
Right.
And Dimitri was really good at repeating them verbatim, like back to you, like just the way comics would around a table.
Yeah.
"Dude, you should have heard what he said last night." And I was like, that was my favorite. Wait, what was I just about to say about that? How fucking crazy that Mitch has been dead almost 10 years.
Yeah, 8 years. Eight and a
Did
half
both
years.
of you were both of you like friends?
I wasn't.
Or-
No. I met him once.
But it's just so weird to think that it's almost been 10 years since he's been dead.
Yeah.
Because
Because he was just such a strong force, and he was one of the few people that actually kind of changed stand-up or an element of stand-up. When
Right.
Mitch Hedberg came around, a lot of fucking young comics went through a Mitch Hedberg phase. It was
Yeah.
like Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
There was a
You know what I
period.
mean?
There was a period where you could not go on the road without working with a version of Mitch Hedberg.
Right.
Like everyone had
Mitch Fletberg,
Yeah.
Stitch Hedberg,
Stitch Hedberg, Hedges Hedberg.
Trim my
there was-
Hedgesberg.
who are the most stolen from essence-wise comics around?
We're going to say David Tell.
David Tell easily.
We're going to say Mitch Hedberg.
Tom Barry?
I wouldn't say that.
Maybe I don't know. You know, it's so funny. Colin Quinn said something about that.
Yeah.
Colin Quinn said something about on his.
Well, Barry's been around for a while, too. You forget that. He's
Yeah.
been around since like the mid-90s, so that could be true. That could easily be true.
Who else?
I think like now
Dane. I'm gonna be dead honest with you.
Of course,
Dane was one of the most taken from essence-wise
There's no
for
doubt
a
about
very
it.
long time. And even myself, there would be jokes where I had a joke and I was like, I could make it funnier if I repeated it and
Right.
said and had my hand move.
That's how I feel about a tell. Like I'm be like, get a joke that's not working.
Yep.
And then if I just go, that's why I shit on the floor. And now it's funny, but I
Yeah.
can't do it. I'm not allowed to do
Yeah.
it. No, like Dane gets shit on, but it was actually kind of refreshing when Dane came around. It was a certain like element of
Yeah, I mean,
entertainment
like,
to that.
hasn't like Dane Cook hate like become like passe at this point?
It
like,
should
it's,
be
like,
if it's not. I mean,
Yeah.
Isn't it like hacked to like hate on?
no
Dane
one hated
Cook at
Dane
this
Cook
point?
until he was really successful.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, some people did.
Yeah.
But whatever. You know.
Yeah. He was.
Oh, in the last year, I think you can see like a lot of people like trying to act like Jesselnick, like newer comics.
Trying to
that's
just
like
be
a-
like, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's a trickle down from Tosh too.
But
I
yeah,
think
that
so.
might
I
be a
think so.
Tosh thing too.
Dude, Tosh.
Yeah.
Tosh, and I like. I've always said this. One of my favorite comics and one of the best writers. I mean, he came in the day after they landed that plane in the fucking East River.
Yeah.
He came in with fucking 20 minutes on the plane.
Right.
And I was like, he's just one of the smartest fucking dudes.
Yeah.
And the way me and Gary Goldman watched him one night and we're fucking jealous.
Right.
We were like, fuck that guy.
I worked with him in like 2002, and he had a joke that was basically just like, they need to change daylight savings because I'm going to want to go to the grocery store and mail a letter. That was the whole joke.
Yeah.
I saw him 5 years later. This joke is fucking 5 minutes long, and there's a pterodactyl in it, and it's just like this whole elaborate joke.
Yeah.
And I just saw where it started from. It was a one-liner. And now it's a fucking cartoon. Now it's a Simpsons episode.
Here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
I love touring as a headliner.
Yeah.
But what I miss is working with like dudes like that. Like I miss featuring. That sounds crazy, but
No,
I
it's
miss
the
the
easiest-
fucking doing 20 minutes, being excited for your 20 minutes, as opposed to going, I have an hour ahead of me.
Right.
And I would love to do. I've always said I'd love to fucking take time off from touring and work with Rogan. Like go out and tour with
You were
Rogan.
talking about doing a tour with a bunch of guys. I
Yeah.
mean, that would enable you to do that.
I want to do. I always say to him. I say to him, man, I want to go with you 1 week. And he's like, whenever you want, you let me know. And I want to, but it's like my schedule's packed, and so I have to make a conscious choice. But like Rogan, go with Tosh.
Yeah.
Like fucking Buns told me about Tom Segura told me about he did a date with Tosh. I guess, dude, it was like a fucking dream.
Yeah.
It's like it's not what the road's like, and that's what. And Buns like it was fucking great, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
of
left
course.
Friday night, came back Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. 2 shows or four shows or whatever.
Right.
Fucking, I would love to do that. Tosh, Rogan. I would love to work with Louis C.K. I'd love to work with Attell.
Right.
I'd love to work with Norton. I'd like to see him work.
I just worked with Norton
Is he fun?
in January.
Really?
Next question. Seems like a laid back guy, doesn't he?
I would love to work with. Who else? Who do you want to work with?
Who else do I
Like if you could get gifted up and put under someone's wing for the next 5 years for you to grow.
Oh yeah, like a fan. I mean, like yeah, you mentioned Louis, who like is like at a point where it's like you almost don't even need to like mention him.
Yeah.
No, but
You know,
what would you like to do?
What would
Like,
I
if you
like?
had
Oh,
the
who would I
choice.
love
That's
to?
what he's asking you.
Who
If
would I
you could tour with for
love
5 years,
to
you get
tour
to
with
pick.
for 5 years?
And it doesn't matter if it's cliche or not. Who would you pick?
Shit. Oh man. Yeah, Louis would be cool.
Lily, come on out! Pass the test, dude. Lily, come out!
Oh man, I feel like touring with Aziz Ansari would be cool.
Uh-huh.
That would be cool. No, yeah.
No, I think that's a great idea.
Listen,
Yeah,
it's your choice.
Yeah, it's your choice.
Bert just hates your choice.
No.
I'm trying to think, man. I don't know. Who else do I like? Really like right now?
There's so many comics
like
better
so
than
many.
you. That you
All right,
could-
all right.
Right.
Let me up
There's
the
so
stakes.
many. Right.
You can tour with whoever you want, and you get to eat off their plate.
Meal wise, he's like Ralphie man.
Jim Gaffigan.
Shit. Oh yeah, I do love Gaffigan. I do love Brian Regan a lot.
You couldn't work with either.
I couldn't work with either of them though, because
You just lose that bomb ass pussy joke.
Yeah.
And now you're back into running.
Yeah. I have to. No, the cleanliness isn't there.
But the godliness,
right? Yeah,
is right around the corner.
You could probably work with Aziz.
That would be. Yeah, I feel like that would be.
Call him up.
Yeah, call him up.
Got
That's
people.
how it works. You just call them up.
You got people. He's got people. You know this?
You got agents?
He's got people.
I have an agent and a manager.
You have an agent and a manager?
Yeah.
You're 21 years old. You live in D.C. Who do you have? Who's your agent?
He's got.
I have. His name is Remington Franklin. He's at
He sounds
Resolution.
Okay.
He split off from ITM.
Yeah.
My manager is Ben Feigen at Anonymous.
He used to
Really?
be my manager.
Oh yeah.
Ben Feigen.
Yeah.
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 He used to work before Levity.
Wait, is he related to Heidi?
That's his wife.
Heidi's my booking agent.
Oh wow.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to fucking squash this for you.
I-
Next time I'm with Heidi, get rid of Brandon. He steals chips.
Yeah. No. They. Yeah. I've met Heidi.
Yeah.
I've met their. They have a kid.
Yep.
He's 22.
Yeah, but wait, what was the question? What was the... Oh, you asked me, yeah.
You have
forget.
representation.
Right. Because, there was, a post, a Washington Post article, and then, my manager's mom, sent it to him, and so then he, signed me, and then I went over there for, a week, and he, got me in...
When are you going to move to L.A.?
Right, in, February.
And you're sure about that?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Who are you going to move in with?
I was telling him you better
my-
not get a girlfriend between now and
To
then.
not get a girlfriend.
Right.
Don't even
Yeah.
fuck anybody.
Right. No, wait, no, well, Nat, please.
Who are you going to move in with?
With family.
Oh, really?
Family over there.
And then you're going to meet some comics and see if you can crash with them?
You can't
Right,
fail.
I mean, it's, what's up?
Anyone that has family out in LA,
Right.
you can't fail.
Yeah.
Who's the family?
I have an aunt and uncle.
Oh,
over
really?
there. Yeah.
Are they in
Bert-
business?
Bert
No.
Reynolds.
They're, just people.
Where do they live?
They live in Long Beach, so it's, a little bit of a drive.
You're going to be friends with
away.
Ian Bagg, dude. He lives out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom's
You
a
guys
girl
can
lives
carpool.
down there. You
Yeah.
can be carpool with them a lot. You should call them up and be like, hey, I need rides into the clubs, and I know you guys do the clubs, and I
Right.
can give you guys gas money, and they'll be like, okay. A lot of guys
Right.
are cool with that.
Yeah.
And then we'll call him and be like, don't eat around this kid.
Hey, are you going to do you should do Comedy Magic.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
I'll take you around there and get you a steak at the very least.
Right now, there's a fucking... Right. Oh, by the way, this is my favorite thing, is people move to Hollywood or New York, and they're like, no, I got all these hookups. I know Matt, I know Bert, they said they're going to hook me up with Tom
Right,
and Ian.
right.
And then when you get out there, no one helps anyone. You're like, good luck. We're all in the same boat now. You're now competition. I remember...
No, this kid's going to blow up. I mean,
you are going to
this
blow
kid's
up.
going to blow up,
Oh, yeah.
and then he's not even going to fucking say hi to us.
Yeah, he'll have a scarf on and driving an Aston Martin,
Right.
and he'll be friends with Leo. He'll be writing something for Leo's acceptance
Right.
speech.
The
And
Great
I'm like,
Gatsby part 2. I'm just
Yeah.
going to write it.
You gonna write scripts? You should write scripts.
So, yeah. I definitely want to. I haven't written a full script, but I've written
That's
stuff.
impressive.
I've started.
You should start an exercise video right now. You're in great shape.
Yeah, if I could start all over, I'd start in exercise videos and
You know?
supplements. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have a podcast?
it's no, I don't have a podcast.
You should do a solo podcast, just you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just you talking for 1 hour.
Just a weekly one-man show.
Brandon's log.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brandon's log.
Day 1.
Yeah. Wait, what were we talking about prior to the podcast?
We were talking
You moving to
about-
LA, your
Not
family.
prior. Oh, yeah.
We're talking about bullshit career ideas for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just
We're riffing.
really ready to move.
You've kind of conquered DC a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You feel like you've been here your whole life.
Did you grow up here?
It's I mean, since 8th grade. So because my dad was in the Air Force, so we
Seriously?
moved around a lot.
I
yeah.
did not see you as a military kid.
No, I know it's yeah. I
You
mean,
do
yeah,
not
no,
look
he's
like you were comfortable on a base.
right. He's this buff, bald dude,
Really?
and yeah,
From
and
Iron Eagle.
Is
Is he black?
What's up?
Iron
What's that guy's
Eagle.
name?
Iron Eagle. By the way, someone told me they're flying to Russia. Who the fuck was? Oh, fucking Yoshi. He got a cheap ticket, $700 to fly to Finland, but he's got to go through like St. Petersburg.
Right.
And he's like, I'm not going to do Yoshi's accent, but you have to almost if you're going to impersonate Yoshi. But you're like, I don't know, even know how it sounds. Okay. But he's like, have you heard of Aeroflot? And I was like, oh my god, the scariest airline ever. And he was like, I've heard bad things. I go, well, if Iron Eagle 2 has any inclination, they're actually really good, but they do fly in black masks. So wait, so your dad's military?
Yeah.
Or just kind of like an intense dude, P90X kind of?
I mean, no, he's not like an intense, like he's like a nice guy. He's
Does
like
he have abs or not?
No.
Okay.
Is he alpha?
But he's like, what's that?
Is he alpha?
I would say my dad. Yeah, my dad's alpha.
Do you have an older brother?
No, I have a little sister.
So what how does he get you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He wrote that bomb-ass pussy joke for him.
What's up?
So wait,
but yeah, no, it is. Yeah, no, you wouldn't expect that. Like a twink looking.
For those of you who don't know what Brandon looks like, he looks like what Asian businessmen jack off to. You should use that.
Copyright.
If you hear him tell that joke, ladies and gentlemen, you know where it came from.
The joke machine.
We should do all his material right now.
And they'd be like, hey, just take it, Brandon. Just take it. Take that to LA with you.
I was reading the Bible the other day.
I'm thankful. Do you know the joke? I only know the punchline.
I'm going to see if I can do it. I was reading...
just pull out his Twitter account.
Oh, yeah. I tweeted that on Wednesday.
I was reading the Bible the other day. I think my favorite psalm is, God so loved the world, he gave us bomb-ass pussy and dank-ass weed. John
69.
John 69, 420.
Have at it, fucker. It's too good material.
Yeah, it's more material for you. You're alpha as fuck, you should say something like that. How much time can you do?
I have a good 15, but like that's like when doing beyond like I've comfortably done like 15 to 20 like but like if somebody asked me to do like beyond that, like at this point, like
you'd be a little nervous.
I'd be like, I'd be
no
like,
shame, buddy.
Yeah,
you're young as shit and you're funny.
Yeah,
ain't no shame.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for like comics to like actually like be honest when like people ask.
Well, yeah, because then you might end up headlining.
Because like, there's so many like just like open mic like shitheads where like you like ask them that and they'll be like, oh, I've got an hour.
Right.
I can.
I told Matt Frost called me one time. He goes, how much time can you do? I go, I can do an hour. He was like, you can. I go, oh yeah. He's like, perfect, got you a date. And I did Houston Laugh Stop was my first headlining date.
Yeah.
And I fucking went down. Dane bailed out. He had something wrong. He had to bail that weekend. And I went down and I did 1 hour. And I remember thinking, oh shit, I can only do 30 minutes.
Right.
Like I could not do an hour. And I had to stretch.
Yes.
And that whole weekend, and by the end of the weekend, I knew how to do an hour.
Right,
I was like, I figured out how to do an hour.
Yeah.
But
because I think
but it's more than just the material. You got to be able to ride that.
Somebody was saying like,
coaster.
there's like a difference between like having an hour and being able to do an hour.
Yeah, because you're just talking to people. I mean, fucking people get bored.
Yeah. And then there's a big difference with having an hour, being able to do an hour and a half, but having a good hour.
Oh,
right.
Man.
Like right now, I'm in a spot where I can do. I think I could figure out. Haven't done it yet, but I could figure out a really good hour.
Right.
You know, with But I'm fucking been in it 14 years, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any questions you want to ask the pros? We'll answer anything for you need to know.
Can I eat these chips?
No way.
Get
the fuck out of here.
All right, let's see how much time we did. An hour 18.
Okay.
Hour 18.
That counts.
I'll post this Tuesday.
Cool.
It's coming up Tuesday.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And how can everyone follow you on Twitter?
Brandon Wardell, WAR.
Do you tweet funny shit?
Yeah, I'm so good at Twitter.
Okay, we'll be the judge of that.
I'm so good at Twitter.
Listen, you're doing the right thing. You have to say yes.
I curate.
You can't say no.
I'll tweet like 3 things in a day, and then keep the one great tweet, and then people will look through my shit and be like
you'll
only
delete
see
the bad
good.
ones?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
I'm very I'm very protective of my social media brand.
Okay, good. Please don't use the word brand around me.
Wardell.
But I
No,
realize you're
Brandon
joking.
Wardell.
That my social
All in
media
capital
brand is my
letters.
lifeblood.
Wait, is this you?
What's that? Yes.
Okay, can we change your picture to a picture of you?
Gotta get you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
look like a troll.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got like the sunglasses.
We need 2
Sunglasses
pictures
with
of
the
you.
It's
thumbs up.
The sun. It's a picture of a sun with sunglasses and a thumbs up.
No, the background is Lil B.
Yeah, I know. You look like a troll. Like, you go to these accounts and you see these people and you're like, this isn't real.
Is it
I
really?
ignore everything they say.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why you have 1,700 followers. You need to get... Here we go. Let's see if... Funny or not. Kicks open door of important business meeting. Yo, what if there were glory holes, but like, it's just someone feeding you chicken nuggets?
We'll take that one.
I'll take it.
All right, so far so good.
That's actually really good.
Thank you.
Kicks open door of important business meeting. Yo, what if there were like glory holes, but like it's just someone feeding you chicken nuggets? For God so loved the world, he gave them bomb ass pussy and dank
There you
ass
go.
weed.
There you go.
John 69 420.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, just get your picture on there, and you're gonna get 1,000 followers by the end of the week.
Guess guess why someone had the old libertarian info in their pocket to start the meeting?
Oh yeah, that's it. That yeah.
3
that was
days
a
ago,
tweet.
Brandon
That was a
Wells
tweet.
tweeted, LOL at all the libertarians in their 20s that are actually just Republicans. That, you slid us a tweet in our conversation?
You motherfucker.
My favorite episode of Full House is the one where Uncle Joey has a rough incident with a heckler at a comedy club and then yells the N-word.
All right, follow Brandon, y'all. It's official.
I like it. Wait. You're sure the advice isn't semen makes your pineapples taste better? God damn, I really regret how I spent last weekend.
You're killing, man.
Yeah, thank you.
You're killing.
Semen makes your... What are you telling on stage?
I have
Wait, you sure the advice isn't semen makes your pineapples taste better? God damn, I really regret how I spent last weekend now. Okay, we're good. Funny prank. Over the course of years, slowly destroy all your relationships with loved ones.
I like that.
That's good in text.
It's funny
good
because
in
that's all anyone ever does with their lives.
Right.
Let's see. Nice try, cops. What's this picture?
Oh, it's just that
Oh, with the
GGN.
That, by the way, is a funny. Yeah, you can do more with that.
Oh, thank you.
I won't fuck your bitch, but I will take a nap on your couch for a rude amount of time. Growing up in the suburbs is a surefire way to regularly hear. I don't really listen to rap, but I love Macklemore and Eminem for some reason.
Quality.
God, it's so
That's
funny.
quality.
Yeah, I like it. Give him a follow, Brandon
Yeah,
Wardell.
follow his
Thank
ass.
you.
And you got. So now this is gonna drop Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So you got to load up with your fucking A gamers. So when people go
Right.
to follow you,
Don't tweet until Tuesday.
yeah,
And then
I
just
would hold off.
loud.
It's like
Maybe
like.
even Wednesday.
I changed my photo during the tweet readings.
Did you really?
Yeah, I don't know if it showed up yet.
Get
I
out
don't
of
know.
here.
I changed it to
I'm following you.
there we go. It's hey.
Let me
I just
see.
got a notification.
You already got 12 new followers, and this shit hadn't even aired yet.
Yeah.
Don't forget at the Full Charge, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Follow Matt Fulchiron.
At the Full Charge. and-
Fullcharge.com. The Full Charge Power Hour. It's very easy to remember this stuff.
You have a
folks.
podcast, right?
Oh, yeah. The Power Hour.
What do you do on your podcast?
I just make fun of my friend who's my movie reviewer. It's fucking phenomenal.
Really?
I'm not going to lie to you. I won't brag about my stand-up. I'll brag about my podcast. It's hilarious.
My Johnny Knoxville. I just reached out to Johnny Knoxville's people to try to get him on the podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. To get him, here's the bit. Oh, I can't talk about it. Fuck.
Huh.
I'm trying to get him on the podcast, but via... It's hard to explain. I'll tell you when we get on.
Have you
Okay.
seen the movie?
No, I haven't, but I fucking saw the... I saw the
trailer?
and I laughed my ass off. And
Yeah.
it's fucking killing. Let me tell you something. You know, I partied with Johnny Knoxville in '97.
Yeah.
He came to FSU to shoot a commercial with me. And this is back when I think he was still Johnny Knoxville, but he was
just like writing articles and doing commercial acting.
Yeah, for Big Brother.
Yeah,
and I partied with him in my apartment at FSU when I was the #1 party animal in the country, and hung out with him all night, dressed in drag, threw each other down the stairs.
Really?
Fucking ate pills, smoked weed, fucking watched. I think I want to say Camp Kill Yourself videos.
Oh yeah,
I want to say that's what it was, but all I remember it was his videos. We were on a tour bus and we were watching videos of people trying to knock themselves out with beer bottles.
Right. So you're watching Jackass with Jackass.
Yeah, this is fun, and we were laughing so fucking hard. And I remember him pitching me the idea. He's like, I write articles where I get shot with a gun. And he's like, I want to do a show where I get shot with a gun. I get shot with a bow and arrow. I'm wearing chainmail, and I go down and I get attacked by a shark. Or whatever his thing was. And I remember thinking to him like, good fucking luck.
Right.
Like, I would never watch it. I would never do it. I would watch it. I would never do it. I can't imagine who would do that. Got to like 3 years later, I'm doing Hurt Bert, which is almost the identical fucking show. But yeah. So I reached out to Johnny Knoxville, my producers did, to try to get him on my podcast.
Right.
Not my producers or my podcast. It's a long story.
Right.
So hopefully he'll be on the podcast. I'd love to talk to him. He'd be a fucking...
He's got personality, dude.
He's an interesting fucking dude.
Because no one... All right, there's the recipe. Go fucking get hit by a car.
Yep.
You know, there's your recipe for comedy. He showed it to you.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's never as funny as when he does it.
Yeah.
I think a key ingredient to what they do is they all gather around, and the one guy gets real nervous he's about to get hurt, and they all go,
yeah. It is... the camaraderie of Jackass is almost as good as the stunts.
Right.
The camaraderie of watching them all one-up each other.
And they're pretty quick-witted and stuff.
And I tell you what, this is... me, I've seen all of them, and I love that fucking... I love the brand.
Yeah,
but like, I like when they fuck with each other, but I would make me so nervous to be on the set where everyone has a fucking small cannon and they're going to try to rupture your eardrum. You know, like when they prank each other, that makes me nervous.
So even when they're not working on what they're working on, they're still side filming bits where you get bit by a snake or punched in the face.
They threw a cobra in a fucking, whatchamacallit, with Bam Margera.
Yeah.
They threw a cobra in the fucking trailer with him.
Right.
Like, and he was like, he's scared of snakes. He's crying.
Right.
Like, you think of shit like that, and you're like, oh my God. I remember Ryan Dunn tested for Bert the Conqueror. It was like, so Bert the Conqueror was my show on Travel Channel. Mm-hmm. And when we did it, I turned it down initially. I was like, I don't know. And then they were like, we'd love for you to. And I was like, oh, and then the money got up, and then they were like, well, we can get a real host. So they had 4 people test to see who would get Bert the Conqueror. Uh-huh. And it was me, Ryan Dunn, some guy who I want to say was a writer for 30 Rock now. I want to say he was he's an alternative improv guy.
Uh-huh.
I wish I knew his name, but he had also tested for Man vs. Food and didn't get that. Okay. And I remember the whole time he was like, dude, that was my fucking show. That was my fucking show. Right. And we were in there, we were like, and that was Man vs. Food was the biggest show ever. And then this guy who was on Survivor or The Apprentice or one of those things, and he had just been kidnapped by Somali pirates. Yeah, and so everyone, but Ryan Dunn and I were the only ones.
Hold on, he actually got kidnapped?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what he said. I mean, I believe him.
Right.
So we go to do the test. It's at a theme park in New Jersey, and these. I don't know if these guys are listening to this, and I don't mean to sound negative, but I made a joke in the thing. I go, why don't we all get the show and we'll change the name to Draw Straws, and we'll all just go in and we'll pull straws. And Ryan Dunn looked at me and goes, I'll do that.
Right.
And I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And the other guys were like, well, let's see how the test goes. And so immediately these two alienated themselves from Ryan Dunn, who had brought 3 friends, by the way, to the test with him. Right. And he had his posse with him. He was comfortable. And then they very quickly... and then his 2 friends... it was riding on a roller coaster. We had to interview people. His 2 friends rode in every ride. So they listened to everyone's interview. Yeah. And then... And I don't think they were doing it to, cheat, but they then told Ryan about everyone's interview about what they did. Yeah. And my interview was, just doing stand-up comedy. I mean, I made some very off-color jokes. Right. And they told Ryan, and Ryan was, lost his mind. He was like, Are you fucking shitting me? He said that? And then he came up to me, he goes, dude, you're out of your fucking mind. And I was like, no, I just don't know any other speed other than stand-up comedy. And he was like, shut up, man. He's like, when you come to fucking, not Philly, but when you come to
Pennsylvania,
you gotta fucking come. We gotta see you do stand-up. And so me and him hung out and got along very well. And I can't remember where this was going.
I don't know, but that's awesome.
But what were we talking about?
We were talking about Jackass.
Yeah,
He was telling me. He was like, yeah. He goes, I get like ulcers. Like I get really fucking stressed out when we start doing the show.
Right.
So I asked him, I was like, I'm obsessed with Jackass.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's a lot of fun. He goes, but it's like when we start production, he's like, it's like fucking. He's like, you can't sleep because everyone's fucking with you.
Yeah, everyone's fucking with you, and then you got to be a good sport about it on top of it.
Yeah.
You got to laugh about it.
You got to have a sense of humor about it. And I was like, I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And then Bam showed up and hung out with us, and they were, dude, we're going through a theme park. Ryan Dunn and Bam Margera, people were losing their fucking minds.
Right.
And then I got the job, and obviously, it was going to be called Dunn the Conqueror or Bert the Conqueror.
Oh, okay.
And actually, it was going to be called The Conqueror.
Gotcha.
And I think in my audition, I said Bert the Conqueror. I forget how it went.
Right.
But then I ended up getting the job, and I never ended up talking to him again. But he was really fucking cool.
That's cool.
One of the nicest guys. But yeah, that camaraderie shit. It's what we like about comedy, I think.
Yeah.
Is that we're all kind of equals, and we're all fucking doing the exact same thing. We're all trying to write the same jokes. No matter how much time you do, it's like you still want to write good shit. You want other comics to be like, dude, I like that line.
Right.
All right. So everyone knows how to follow Brandon. Everyone knows how to follow Matt.
This is true.
Hopefully you follow me. Anything else?
They probably do.
Yeah, hopefully.
They found this podcast somehow.
And is that it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, we've covered
I thought of
everything.
more.
There's
I
chips
thought of
in the
more.
closet.
I thought of more comics I'd want to work with.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's run through this real quick.
Neil Hamburger. I'd like Neil Hamburger a ton.
Yeah, he's a band promoter, right? He was a band. Someone just told me a great story about him.
Oh yeah, Greg Turkington.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, he was a band promoter, and he was like really big into the. Who was telling me about him? The other day, like someone was like, "Oh yeah, I love Neil Hamburger. He was real big in the punk rock scene."
I don't know.
God,
maybe Chris Fairbanks?
No. Who was just telling me about him?
Well, I just wrote a new joke.
What's that?
My new goal is to be the cool substitute teacher that says ass and damn sometimes. And all the kids are like, whoa, this guy gets it. You can have that if you want.
Yeah.
Wait, I wrote one too.
Yeah, that was like a...
You're not happy with that one?
No, I'm very happy with that one. I was just checking the...
Why are you going through my notes?
Oh, yeah, I was 300 faves.
You got 300 faves on that?
Yeah, we really out here.
What? What's we really out here?
Yeah, we really out here.
Wait, are you follow Donnell on Vine? Why does you know who Donnell is?
Donnell Rollins?
Yeah, he says that. We out here
He
all the
does.
time. What is that?
What does that mean?
Oh, it's just like it's like
we're here?
It's like it's
like we're right here right now. Like
right.
Deal with it.
Excalibur.
It's like we're here, but without the we're queer. But
Right.
still deal with it.
Yeah.
What's wait?
I got a new joke for you. It's hard to spit game at a bank teller when she can see how much money you have in your bank account. I think I actually did write that one.
What's eugenics?
What's that?
What's eugenics?
That's wait. Oh,
It's-
that's like when like the Nazis would like genetically like plan.
Because I just have this joke I think that would work for if I knew what eugenics was. But my joke is, that's the power of German engineering is the slogan for Volkswagen, but it was also the slogan for eugenics. Get it?
This is my favorite one so far. Hot sluts in your area looking for emotionally fulfilling relationships. I fucked it up a little bit. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I did. All right, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Matt. Do we have any more dates to the end of the year?
Huh? I don't think we do. No, you're not. You canceled them.
It's Trip Flip.
Yeah.
All year until fucking February. I apologize, everybody.
Oh, it's all. Yeah. We're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
We'll listen to the podcast.
All right. Yep. Podcast will keep going. I love you guys. Thank you.
Oh.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.